So game 2, and the recording started a little bit late there, sorry about that. So you can see I've ended up drawing a card and installed a pop-up window over HQ already. I've got a pretty good opening hand here. We've got the award bait, we've got the Astro, the breaking news, Traffic Accident, Scorched Earth, and a 24/7 news cycle, so we're pretty happy with a lot of this stuff. And we're going up against Wizard, whose ID is relatively blank against us, simply because his 3 credits, we don't have stuff for him to really trash. But he gets off to a good start with Adjusted Chronotype Wildside and Dirty Laundry, and he also steals that Quantum Predictive Model Office. But even if he we'd had the mid-seasons, he still had 6 credits there. So anyway, we end up scoring out the breaking news because you do want to get those out as soon as you can. You don't want those to just be poached by random accesses or something like that. So if you can get them out, then that's fantastic for you. It's one of the pieces of your kill combo. And of course we see that he's playing Faust, and you know, it's an Anarch, why wouldn't he be playing Faust, basically? There are plenty of reasons why they wouldn't be playing Faust, because their deck isn't built around it, but with Wildside Pancakes in Anarch, you don't really lose much by including a singleton or 2 copies of Faust, just because of how powerful it is. Here I wanted to make sure that I got that news team into the archives. I had to think about it for a little while, about whether I wanted to play that hedge fund or maybe draw another card, but instead I just go with gaining an extra credit, throwing that in there. Again, deck doesn't need much money to function, and we're not paying money to res ice. And here I hesitate a little bit because I see that he decides to use Faust to break the pop-up window subroutine, and as a general rule, if you can spend a credit to break a subroutine when you're using Faust, it's probably better than pitching a card. And that's why Faust with E3 feedback implants is just really, really good. It lets you use your card resources for longer. Anyway, we end up getting an Explodapalooza, which we're pretty happy about generally. Film critic's obviously an issue, but you know, that Film Critic is one thing that Haarpsichord just has a bit of a weakness to, since most decks tend to run in the whole, oh yeah, you can run my archives, I've got 5 agendas in there, but you can only have one of them. But we're not sure if he's playing Film Critic at this point. It's still something that you kind of just have to accept if it happens and play around when it shows up. So we throw out the Explodapalooza and we throw out a news team. And this is just, you know, this is a heavy resource Anarch good stuff as well. Puts out a Hacktivist meeting, although again we don't really care about that. We might lose a card to resing a Jackson Howard, but at the moment we don't even have that. We get another Traffic Accident, but importantly we get our 15 minutes, and that is huge for us, because that, we have the combo kill in hand now. We just need to score that 15 minutes and hope that he doesn't have Pliscrete or I've Had Worse. It is an Anarch, so chances are they probably do have I've Had Worse, but this deck can still punch through that. And you can see here that we have quite a nice setup for the next 2 turns. All we need to do is score that 15 minutes, then we go 24/7 into kill combo. They still don't have a Pliscrete out, but they probably have I've Had Worse in hand. And we get our Jackson, which we're always happy about. Jackson's great for shuffling in kill pieces against things like Anarchs or people who are running Pliscrete. So with those 2 agendas out, and with the 24/7 and Scorch Traffic in hand, we're feeling pretty good. Bit of an odd choice there to include express delivery as opposed to some something like maybe a legwork, because we're probably not playing a singleton express delivery. Well, you'd hope not. Ends up parasiting my pop-up window, which, you know, it's pop-up window, it gets parasited a lot, we're fine with that. And here we go with the kill combo to begin. So we play our 24/7, forfeit our 15 minutes, score the breaking news, he gets the 2 tags, then we go traffic accident, and we hit an I've had worse right off the bat, which sucks. But we go into the tank for a little bit here and end up scorching him anyway, just because it means that he's in a rough spot for his next turn, and we've got a bit of inevitability here. He's currently sitting on 1 point, and we have 4 points in the archives, but you know, that's alright. He's now sitting down on 2 cards. He gets 2 off his wild side, obviously, but we're still... Oh, and yeah, the 2 tags went away, so Jinteki doesn't code. I think Jinteki says when a breaking news is scored, regardless of if it's scored via 24/7 or what, those 2 tags go away at end of turn, when they shouldn't when you resolve it with 24/7 news cycle. So we draw into a sweep. More money is fine. If we end up with a mid-seasons in hand, but we want to get that Jackson down, and we want to get a few more cards, and we draw into more money, lots and lots of money there. Our opponent, we know, has a film critic in hand because they played it and then they had to bring it back so that they could clear the tag, so technically we should know about it, but yeah, you know, at the moment we've got the agendas in archives, and we're actually okay with them being there because we also have the 2 news teams, and so here he it's like, whoop, hold on a sec, because he wants to have that film critic out, which is fine. You know, it's a little more difficult playing online Jinteki and Octagon sometimes. Things can get a bit muddled up. Trying to fix mistakes which are easy to fix when you're playing in paper are more difficult when you're playing electronically. So he has the Exploded Blues, doesn't want to give us 5 credits, gets the Astro, but then has to hit the news teams, and he doesn't want to give us tags. So instead, he takes -2 points, which is great. So he's got 2 of our agendas, 1 on the film critic, but he's still only sitting on 1 agenda point, which we love. And look at that, right off the top we get our breaking news, which is perfect. It gives us another kill combo set up, so we want to get that out as soon as possible. And we go up and pop that out and score it. I was just having a think if I wanted to try and just pop it out and then score it next turn, maybe kill film critic or a wild side or something, but given that he's wizard and he wants to run remotes to try and make use of his ID ability, I decided that it wasn't worth the risk, and I'll just let him have the his card draw and the like. Eventually he's going to run out, you hope. Of course they could be running Levy. So Dirty Laundry into archives does nothing for him this time. He saw it, we haven't really discarded, so fine with that. Jackson draws us into another 24/7 news cycle and another news team, both cards which we're really happy to have here. We can money up a bit just to keep cards in hand, because we don't really want to pop that Explodapalooza out into the bin now that he has Film Critic. 3 agenda points is obviously only 4 agenda points away from winning, and then we end up with this card, which has seen some play, doesn't see too much, but it's very interesting. Wanton Destruction is a strange card. The runner doesn't get to see what gets trashed. They have to spend the majority of their turn or their entire turn to trash a couple of cards from the corp's hand, but it's done at random, and that can sometimes just completely screw the corp over. So in this case he pitches 2 and he ends up so he pitches 2 cards from our hand, and then his last click is spent to remove the tag from Data Raven, which, you know, is fine. He didn't hit any of our agendas, and nothing we really cared about too much. He did hit the 24/7 news cycle, which is a pain, but we'll just throw that one back in with a Scorch and a Traffic Accident. And then we get another Traffic Accident, which we're happy to see. So we draw again, and look, 24/7 news cycle. Excellent, excellent. We just need to hold on to that for another turn, and the chances of there being more than one wanton destruction are relatively low, but we do want to try and cut down on any random accesses and try and kill him next turn. So we put that wraparound over R&D, and that means that we're probably not seeing much in the way of wanton destruction, and here we get to res a wraparound at 7 strength, which is excellent against Faust. 4 cards. 4 cards, so 3 to beat the strength, and then 1 to break it, which is excellent value. That's why one of my Cape decks runs a Singleton Lady, just so that you can get around that. And then of course the Corroder comes out and the medium, and they make another run on HQ, seeing on R&D, seeing only 1 card. And now we are back in business for going with the kill combo again. So we 24/7 news cycle, forfeit breaking news to score breaking news, 2 more tags. Then we traffic accident, and look, it's another I've had worse. They're everywhere. Wow. It's a little bit crazy, but you know, it's Anarch. He brought one back with Deja Vu, so we knew he had one in hand. But the reason that you go for it is because he had 5 cards in hand, and we had Traffic Accident, which allows us a 60% chance to just win the game there on average. If he has 2 in hand, it obviously increases the chances that he lives, but at this point he's down to around 5. He's got 5 cards in stack, 6 in grip. We can get more kill pieces quite easily and continue to tag him up. And you don't go all in on a single attempt at killing with this deck. You can do multiple attempts at the kill because you just have that ability to either mid-seasons them or to 24/7 them again, and here we see we've got the mid-seasons, which is excellent for us. Of course, he does have Film Critic, which is a bit of a problem. So if we want to mid-seasons him, we need him to steal an agenda. So we need to give him 2 agendas in a single turn, since then he can only host 1 on Film Critic, and then he has to take the other one, because obviously there's no choice. With any of the agendas in this deck, there's no choice for the runner to not take it, and APD gives them that choice, as an example. Fetal AI, another one. But in this deck, every single one has to be taken if they can take it. And obviously with Haarpsichord, they can only take 1 per turn, so Film Critic allows you to get to 2 from Haarpsichord. Sort of. You have to click for the others. So we're looking for that second agenda here, and we're not too sure about what we're going to do here. We put the Data Raven on R&D because it's a bit of a leak at the moment, which we don't really want him to have, especially with that medium on 3 counters. If he wants to run and hit the tags, we're okay with that. That means that he's spending money, it means that he's spending time, which gives us more time to get our kill combo. And here he's just building up data sucker tokens so that he can parasite this Data Raven on HQ. He probably didn't need to get so many, but I just noticed he gave it -5 strength. He used an extra data sucker token when he didn't need to. Oh well. Just didn't notice that in game. That's bad. I wonder if that data sucker token becomes relevant. Anyway, look, we got a Gutenberg, we got a Scorched Earth. We pop that Gutenberg over HQ, just because it's nice to res. Sure, it only has 3 strength when it's on HQ, but it's still 2 cards from Faust. And other than that, it's still a strong trace to give a tag. He goes for the archives again, and we give him the news team and putting him down onto 2 agenda points after having taken 3 of our agendas, which is kind of fun. and we're just looking for our pieces at the moment. He's running a bit rampant, but the deck is, again, resilient to that sort of thing by the fact that they can only steal one agenda per turn. And we get what we need, a quantum predictive model. That gives us 2 agendas which we can put into our archives. And it looks like I'm just deciding whether I want to purge here, or whether I want to play out some more ice, or draw up to... Yeah, there we go. And the decision to draw up pays off, because we get the Traffic Accident and we get another Explodapalooza, which isn't fantastic. But you know, that's just how it goes sometimes. There's 14 agendas in the deck, so you're expecting to see a lot of them. So here, we throw out 2 of our agendas. We throw out an Explodapalooza, and we throw out a Quantum Predictive Model, and we throw out a Wraparound because it's kind of irrelevant here. And now, when he runs Archives, which he does immediately, he sees all of this stuff that's in there, and he hosts Explodapalooza on Film Critic, I'm fairly certain. And then he just has to steal Quantum Predictive Model. Yeah, so there we go. Hosts Explodapalooza instead of accessing it, steals Quantum Predictive Model. Oh dear, this isn't good for me, he's thinking, because I may not have my I've had worse, or, you know, it's there's still a chance that it could miss, could be missed when Traffic Accident comes out to play. I don't think he's seen a Midseasons yet. Would he have? I don't think he's seen a Midseasons in our R&D. There's only 2 in the deck, so it is possible for him to miss it. So he ends up playing Levy in the hopes that he can draw into I've had worse last click. But yeah, that leaves him on 1 credit, which is not great when you're going up against the Midseasons. He has no innate link and no other link, so we'll just leave it on 6 because he's only got the 1 credit, so he's going to be taking 5 tags. He puts the credit into it anyway, and then we go for it, and we hit successfully, and he ends up being flatlined. He did have an I've had worse in hand, but we managed to avoid it with our Traffic Accident. So that was quite a long, drawn-out game, but we eventually got there with the kill.